Hello, so you have a new patch in the beta that actually fixes a lot of issues and introduces the rest of the implants and augments. Now, they finally patched the AI, so there are a lot of enemies with more action points, usually 2, 3, 4 depends, but now they have a cap on their number of attacks, which means you can no longer get pinball by a guy with a grenade launcher, which is great. So the limit on the number of attacks per turn for NPC is set in place, and I think they can only attack once per turn, but I'm not sure. Not sure if they can throw a grenade or attack, or if they can throw a grenade and do some other stuff. We'll see. But for now, we're not going to get killed as fast as you used to do. They've implemented 66 new implants, which is a bit weird because they're very, very hard to find. I think I played about 10 hours and I barely managed to find about 10 new things. So 20 new active ones and 18 quasimorphic ones. These ones are a little easier to find, but after a while we'll see that. I'm not sure. I think you have to dismember them while they're alive to get the body part. I'm not sure how that works. We'll just have to see. Also have new tabs for the filters, so it will be easier to manage your inventories, but now you can finally just not include the tab into the sorting thing. Also have 26 new random events, which I never really saw. I guess they're not as visible as the other ones, like the ones where you get attacked by pirates. Some new stuff for the HUDs, some new stuff for the difficulty settings. Overcharged batteries now apply their perk to melee weapons that use batteries. Interesting. So didn't apply that before. Okay. They also balance some perks, stats, effects, and experience gain, and some other stuff as well. And I'll show you what I changed for my character. But first of all, you need to go to Earth. This is the supermarket of the planet, and just buy a lot of implant chips. Actually, this is such a big factor right now and such a big deal that you probably have to buy a ton of implant chips, and yeah, that's going to be a bit annoying since you will not have enough resources to buy all of them anyway. Probably have around 10 implant chips over here that got me absolutely nothing because it's so easy to get a double. Yeah, and I was trying to get more, but it's impossible. I don't think you can get more implants or more implant chips. You're actually more likely to get an implant chip than a rare implant itself or an augment. So let's look at some of them and then we'll do a little mission so you see how it plays. First of all, we have the easiest ones to get, the easiest quasimorphic ones. These are from the spiders. 20 to 40 poison damage, which actually doesn't sound like that much, but I guess it depends on how it works. If you can launch it at a high distance, probably can use it with your helmet on. That would be fun if you couldn't use it. Also, our characters are becoming space marines. Yeah, space marines have acid glands as well. It's more interesting, but the hit to quasimorphosis is kind of too much. I don't know if anyone will really use them. I think they should only be +1. Then you have the web gland, which does exactly what it says it does. Now, I'm not sure if it prevents them from attacking or not, but it at least prevents them from moving, which means you can just light the place on fire and then spit web at them. Or acid puddle and then spit the web at them. I guess you can kind of have a lot of fun with stuff like this. These are the overgrown muscles from the centaurs, which means you'll get an extra hit in melee. But because you get quasimorphosis +3, it's a little bit annoying, so I'm not sure what they can do about this. I guess this is very good for that class that can use the quasimorphic bonuses to their own. Let's get to the more interesting ones. For example, the holographic projector, which creates an illusion that draws the attention of enemies for 4 turns. It does come with a few debuffs, but it's kind of amazing because you just create a clone of yourself. Imagine just a little clone of yourself, hologram, that stays there for 4 turns. It does seem to draw the fire of the enemies, but it's not as useful as you think, mainly because it replaces the reload speed implant. Reflex module, which is straight up buff to the thighs. We are missing thigh implants, and this is just 6% more dodge. Amazing one. I probably will use this all the time. Optical suppressor, stun immunity, but it reduces your vision range. Unless they add more enemies that use stun tactics or stun mechanics, this is the most useless one so far, because it comes with a big debuff. The energy booster, which is another thigh implant, it gives you minus 40% calorie consumption. So if you pair this with the lung implant, means you can probably You probably not even need to eat during an entire fight, so most people probably use this one because if you pair a little bit of dodge with your character, it doesn't really add too much. I mean, 6% dodge is not that much if you think about it, but this might appeal to more people because you can use more active skills and just have a lot more fun in the game without needing to eat. On the other hand, this kind of removes the need for food, so I'm not sure about this. Sorry, I have a cold. Tactile sensor, weapon range +1. I don't even need to explain how massive this is. Imagine if you're using a shotgun or if you're using an SMG or a rifle or just whatever else, something with plasma, something like that. +1 to the weapon range. And imagine if you're using this with Victoria. Yeah, Victoria will just be able to shoot anyone from one screen away, from this corner of the map to that corner. Kind of a funny one. Probably it will get a lot of use because the minuses are kind of negligible, but still the bonuses are so big and nice. Especially because now you can upgrade all of the basic weapons, and if you use this implant, it will actually kind of offset the lack of range. So don't sleep on this one. This is one of the best implants in the game currently. Insulators, just some extra resistance for the stomach. I guess you understand the point of this one. If you cannot get the stomach filter, then you'll have to probably use this one. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying with the -2 cut resistance, but electrical and beam resistance is kind of hard to get, so it might get some use out of it before you get the filtering, the kinetic buffer. Now this is another massive one. Now 10% dodge loss is not that much, but think of it. You can basically offset the dodge penalty more or less with a reflex module on your thigh. So basically this is just pure armor. I guess you have to try this one. Oh, yeah, let's try this one because I'm really curious about the armor values. So 88, 87, 78. So I guess it's kind of a representative thing for the game right now because some of these things are massive. I don't really need the accuracy anymore, to be honest, but let's just see how good this will be. It will bring us 80, oh wow, 93, 92, and 88. So basically it can bring us to almost 90% resistance to the main physical damage points. That's actually pretty amazing. Yeah, you do lose some dodge, but I guess this will be kind of like whatever you need in the beginning of the game. So Percy to be a tank, you'll need this implant a lot in the beginning. That's so cool. I like it a lot. So his dodge becomes 91%. Well, that's not a lot. Also, in this update, I think they have buffed a lot of the enemies to be able to hit you more often because I'm getting hit like crazy after the beta. 91, so 101. So you don't really lose that much, and like I said, you can kind of nullify that penalty with the thigh implant. So cool, and finally we have the cyber liver, which I found immune to poison wounds, which is kind of interesting because, well, I guess you'll need to increase the amount of poison weapons, otherwise it's not going to be worth it. So this will not be worth it if you are playing the game normally. I'll not demonstrate how this one works. It's just a copy of yourself, and sometimes the enemies will attack it, sometimes they'll not attack it. Also, let's look at our processing tab over here, augmentation. So this is all of the recipes I could find so far, and trust me, it's so hard with the chips. They need to implement a way to recycle chips so you can at least get another chance of getting another implant chip at some point, because I'm just, well, I guess the developers have some ideas with the chips, because look at how many I have. You can use them to upgrade or do some other stuff, but I don't know. I think they should allow you to recycle the chips at some point. Anyway, so let's go back over here, and these implants, as you can see, they're mostly pretty cheap to create, but the best ones are the cheapest ones as well, which is going to be a problem in the long run. Reload duration. The problem is you'll always choose the crit ones. I don't think I'll change my build that much, maybe one or two more items, but also the best ones are the cheapest ones as well. And these ones, as you can see, they cost quite a bit with the bio-waste tank needed for that one. This one needs electrical parts and industrial spare parts. These are kind of the more expensive ones. I was hoping they would implement more augments, but probably I just didn't find them. So I didn't see any more augments except for the war robot, the industrial robot, and then the, I don't know, the escort robot or just the rubber robot. Rubber robot, that sounds weird. Anyway, let's just do a quick mission. By the way, so you'll have to basically walk all over the galaxy and search for these chips, the implant chips, the augmentation chips. I think we had the mission over here. Yeah, I'm trying to maintain the balance in my game, which is much harder than it seems. Oh, what? 10,000 power? No, thank you. Yeah, we can go there to do that, the control one. So the developers have done a lot of rebalancing in this month, and when the beta is out, I think a lot of people will enjoy the game, and I will probably start a new game as well, because the massive changes are so interesting that I want to play from zero again. Of course, I'm waiting for the engine update, which will surely make the biggest change out of all of them. We have 101 dodge and some other stuff. It's super hard to get the implants. I couldn't find any on enemies, which was kind of like a big letdown to me. Also, the enemies are a lot tougher to kill right now, so I don't know, you need a very specialized build. If you start playing the game right now, let's say from zero in the beta, you realize that the enemies are super strong, and the normal difficulty of the game in the end game will feel like you're playing on impossible. And some people might not agree with this one, but I guess it's not that bad. Also, I replaced my assault. Okay, I replaced whatever perk I have over here with the assault reflex. To be honest, it doesn't seem to work all that well all the time, but fraction points are fraction points. Again, I'm not sure if it works or not, but on paper it sounds amazing. Seems like this is the best bullet currently in the game. 7.97 more piercing. So let's see some of those enemies. I don't think we'll encounter any enemies with 4 action points, but by the way, when they have 4 action points, that means the action points are meant for them to arrive at you alive. Okay, let's prepare this because this is not as easy as it looks or sounds. Duct tape? Well, that's what what? They're already here. So the enemies will now run away. It has very high pierce armor, the ones with the frame power armor, as you can see. It's kind of problematic. I don't know why my character turns around like that. Damage, yeah, so he damaged my stomach, so I guess you can kind of see how all of these play together. Even some of the things that will seem useless are very... What? Well, I think I remember to pick up the duct tape. So bad. Those dudes in flame power armor are really destroying me. Well, lucky for me, I remembered. Well, actually, I didn't remember. I know very well that I should. Oh, that's still damaged. I should carry medkits with me. At least they didn't take my knee or my other leg. Look at this guy. Rinsing 4 action points. But they only have a pistol, which is great. Otherwise, would be in very, very deep trouble. Also, it seems like 95% chance to hit is not really 95. So do you see that icon? That means he should be shocked or something. So he will either have a negative... I guess you just have a lower chance to hit me or whatever that means. It's not really explained, but I think that's... And if they have a white flag, then they'll run away. But he's not running away, is he? So these missions are so much harder right now. Okay, the stomach was working. Time to repair that hand. Time to repair the weapon as well. Yeah. So, have fun with the game, right? This is normal difficulty, by the way. This is not even... It's not even that hard. I had many... So, by the way, the Quanji can fire 4 saw blades at the same time. Maybe I should use one against the demons. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Also need to eat every mission. Little buggy. We are not getting the confirmation that this place was defended because if the enemies run away, that means we'll have to go and chase them to kill them. Oh well. Also, another problem is that I think most of the enemies should have implants at this point of the game, but as you can see, Endgame doesn't have any implants, so you'll have to fight specific factions for the implants, which is not such a good... It's not such a bad idea, but it can really get on your nerves because most of them will have no implants whatsoever, while being very, very hard to kill. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, look at all of their armor. It's actually quite low-tech armor, but it's super, super resistant to damage, so I guess it will become more important to know what faction you're fighting with and to bring the proper tools. Also, these things seem to have a lot more loot right now, when they had a lot of loot even before. Okay, so I think that guy was running away or something. They'll probably fix this bug at some point. Oh no. Where are they? I'm a bit afraid I'll just get the endgame warning, or an mission warning. No. Okay, let's search for that pesky enemy. I'd probably run away when he saw me killing all of his bodies. So that's why they have a beta, because, well, I guess it would be obvious. That's the white flag, that means they'll retreat. Yeah, when you're probably playing this version of the game, it will not be so buggy or... Oh, that's the... grenade launcher or the rocket launcher. But I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, why do you create an illusion of yourself when you can just reduce the amount of time you need to reload the gun? It's what people will complain about, because this is the biggest problem right now. Reloading your gun costs so much time. I don't get so close to them. Yeah, this mechanic will kind of be annoying in a lot of mission types, as you can see. Oh, it will be problematic in most of the missions, to be honest. I guess I can take that. I think I will want to play with these guns as well at some point. Also because I think this is the only way to cut some augments of enemies or demons, to be more precise. I don't think that will be a problem. Let's remove that. What do we have over here? Oh yeah, it seems like the enemies are starting to carry more equipment, or at least for the Thunder Rat. Marauder. As you can see, basically, probably this just means you'll have 20% more loot. If you remember from the other version, it was 150%. So all of this was modified. I don't remember this being... I think they reduced this as well. 225, this is the same. Yeah, I guess they nerfed a lot of stuff, so expect a lot more changes. And most of them will not be announced, or you will not even notice them until you realize, hey, I'm getting hit a lot more often. What's happening? My current dodge, it's 80%, but as you saw, if you're going to get attacked by AoE attacks like that, there's nothing you can do. There's just a frame. See, no implants over here. So what if I search the entire station? Well, I guess this is becoming a little bit like a Benny Hill show. I'm chasing something that I cannot even see at this point. Oh, so that other mission completed somehow. What's in the box? Well, at least the boxes are not empty anymore. Okay, I guess we searched the entire station. Oh, they're over here. And I'm so conflicted by all of this stuff. So you're telling me now I can complete the mission? Please tell me I can complete the mission now, game. This also is what happens in other types of mission, like, you know, the defense missions. Oh, I forgot I changed my weapon. Yeah, it seems like it's impossible they would be able to hit you with all of my dodge. A 79% dodge chance means the enemy had probably a chance of hitting me of 150% from the accuracy bonus, which means they had the 70%. I don't know, just do the math if you like, but you'll get hit a lot more often because they have changed something in the formula, which means the enemies will have a minimal chance of hitting you every time. Maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 12%, I don't know. It's like they have a minimum chance of hitting you of about 10%-ish, I would say. I really want to take some of the drones home, but yeah, it's okay. So yeah, imagine if you're going to get hit with this amount of dodge. Imagine how it will be to have, let's say, 20% dodge, or how it will be when you have only when you have 10% dodge only. I don't know. Seems like all of these changes will just make the game more balanced, but also a little harder. So I guess it depends on everyone to determine if they like this or not. But these are really big changes, and I'm happy for them because they're actually making the game be a proper, challenging game again. Let's put those over there. I guess I'm ready to go on another mission. Well, let's repair this. Yeah. You're not going to survive long without having a lot of repairs on you or healing items. These are also kind of smashed by just a single enemy or two enemies, I guess. Oh. This is repaired with plastic, yes. Trading is also a little more interesting at the same time, but it's also a little harder to do. Yeah, that they have their basically endgame stuff for sale sometimes, but you'll have to be friends with everyone. I don't know, it's a little harder to explain. So yeah, these are massive changes, and once the patch is live, I'll probably play a new save file. I'm not sure if it will be on the hardest difficulty or not, we'll just have to see. Most of the classes are also... how to put this? Most of the classes are also balanced right now, so they feel a little weaker in a way, but I guess that's how it's supposed to be. For example, the mech infantry has just extra healing chance for the robotic parts, more resistances and less penalties, but I guess it doesn't really matter because most of the penalties involve the armor for armor against electricity, so I might up ending to use more of these things. That's also pretty good. It's so tempting to just use the 12.7mm ammo. Also, Unit 317 has this cool cyber compatibility perk, which makes sense right now. So you have more dodge chance per implant, but how many implants can you really have? Let's say you have 10 implants, that's 20% more dodge, which is kind of like the same as the perk, so I guess it makes sense. Let's look at the terror pack. What does this do? Extra action points when you have more pain. I don't know, I'll probably have to make another video for the game, maybe a review, maybe something else, because I have a lot of stuff. I also went to Jupiter to get the Bram Fatura pact as well, so yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I also like the Dugur Lead Bull and the Warpal Axe. These are kind of like very cool looking weapons. I found this one a boss or a lore or a baron, whatever. Yeah, definitely you're going to need a lot more help to even survive on normal difficulty, which is why the developers are adding more stuff for the customization options, but they should add more bonuses to the impossible or unfair difficulties, because otherwise nobody will play them, especially with some of these recent changes.